I was muted. I don't even know where I stopped. But what I'm trying to say is the idea they're giving us of the descriptive information they saw on his body, they need to come and explain how possible scientifically and medically, how possible that was for us to see, for them to be able to identify. They did not even say it looks like, or this is certain, it seems as though an information was written. They gave us the full information that he had Joseph, he had Abosede, he had this person. So how can you see that on the body that is peeling, according to what Gold said? The body is peeling, the body is discomposed. It's not adding up. It's just not adding up. And this is where the lawyer needs to sit up now. They need to sit up and gather their own information. The external factors is what is actually going to bring us justice. Now we've established from the quack results say that the medication he had didn't kill him. Okay? So that's closed a chapter for us, even though we expected that anyway. But at the end of the day, the lawyer is their time to sit up now and start looking critically at the external factors, the fight, the stress.
This is time to call out Berekete to give us what he has.
Exactly. So if he had a shock, and I also asked, what could have caused a shock? He said, well, if somebody was pushed, if somebody was, there must have been something, especially somebody that was already apprehensive. There must have been something that he saw or that they did to him that caused him that shock. That that the pathologist is telling us could have resulted to the death as well. So there must have been something. What happened in that bedroom? What happened on the way home? What happened within those hours? It went. So they need to give us critical, analysis of the external factor, even if we're not going to get any result out of this toxicology anymore, even if they redo it, but we watch all this Mother series, and you can see Mother of 20 years ago, and they've just gone out and ripped the bones out, and they can find out who is that person. They can find out what killed the person. How much more a body of within 8 months, and they're telling us they can't see nothing, but they can see the tattoos on the body. Thank God they didn't even tell us that he had Wunmi written on his body. At least we know that Wunmi is not there. Which shows the position he placed her anyway, from my opinion. That's just all I want to say.
Can I add something? This is my personal opinion. And I think we just like to look at things very, very truly. Now, if the pathologist could say there was superficial injury, that points to the fact that they will be able to see tattoo on his body. First question we need to ask is, what is the level of what will I say?
Decomposition.
The level of decomposition. What is the level? Because I have seen dead body that has decomposed, and I've seen tattoo on it.
They didn't go there with any doctor to help them ask questions.
No, I'm just talking generally, not about asking questions. So I am talking about that. So before we begin to say, if they see tattoo, they should have seen other thing. I take some good notes. They spoke about superficial injury. What is superficial injury? What it simply means is a minor injury. It is not deep. It could be a bruises, it could be a cut, but it's not something deep. What that means to me is that report have negated the narrative that he was stabbed, because they would have seen the depth if it was stabbed. Whether rotten or non-rotten, they will see a sign, because it will go down. Also, what they've also been able to show to us, according to the pathologists, I'm basing everything on what is outside, is his neck was not broken. But one thing that is salient is that if they could bend his legs and bend his neck, it means he actually did not die within 24 hours. Because within that period, his body will still be stiff. it will be over 24 hours. That is what that actually means, which that points out to me. Now, if it is after 9 days, and to what they've been able to see, just according to them, then that is on the autopsy. Now, coming to the toxicology. Toxicology helps us to identify all the chemical or toxin in a system. So if they can see paracetamol, why wouldn't they be able to see other medication? And we were able to see caffeine.
Then that shows there was no nurse. Go on.
Yes. If they are able to see paracetamol, they are able to see caffeine, and they were not able to see other things that the nurse mentioned. Therefore, we need to put a question mark. Was he ever injected? Because he would have taken paracetamol orally too, if they can see it in it. The caffeine they saw, of what magnitude? And I think the Gold said, they said the measurement is normal. The paracetamol is normal. It's not something that raises a red flag. The other one they saw, it is a bit high, but it's not a red flag, which means all the substance they were able to detect in his fluid were not able to kill him, to cause any major damage. Therefore, the nurse as a suspect is cancelled. That is what it simply means for me. Therefore, nobody broke his neck. Therefore, the injury they said killed him was a superficial injury. What it means, it was not a...
It's not deep.
It's not deep. It's not a terminal injury. It is something which means it's like he had bruises or he had...
Like yes, minor injury.
Thank you very much. Now, take it back to what Prime Boy said. He said that mark has already been on his hand. And I think about 2 weeks ago, someone said that they saw his picture and that mark was still on his hand. So, which means it's probably a mark he has sustained for over time, not newly done. So it takes us back to where we started from. The people around Mohbad at home, what happened that they were not saying? Because there seems not to be broken neck, stab, or any other thing. There seems not to be that. Then what happened? And they are telling us that they did not detect other substances from those three Gold mentioned. Now they refer to shock. What could have caused the shock? What actually? Because if he was pushed, we will see the impact on his body. There should be impact. His head will have an impact somehow. His shoulders will have impact. He's a tall guy. So if he falls over 6 feet, he's going to have, a measurable impact. That is just my thought. Another thing I love to say is this. We don't need to castigate lawyers in this matter. One thing that is salient is this. As inquest is orchestrated, medical report is one item on the list of things they will add to their report. That is not what we determine what they want to get. Testimonies of witnesses are very, very germane. And that is something that is salient here. Prime Boy have been very consistent in everything he says. The only bomb that he threw today from the conversation is telling us the actual argument they had. The actual argument they had, which he has been shying away to say. And I think I said it before that. Probably he's waiting to say it where it matters. Now he has said it. I believe he can say it more thereafter. Aside that, everything he said has been constant. He spoke about going to meet Cubana chief priest. He spoke about what he felt with the Adura guy. He spoke about their disagreement. He spoke about every other thing. So, a lot of things. Now, I think we are still back to square one, as they used to say. And I personally still believe that these guys have been coached by a professional that has been able to create booby trap in all the ways. When you think about this thing, you still come back to the same point. You continuously ask questions, what happened? Because everything they've done medically have not shown us what happened. Talking with them, let us take Prime Boy out of it. Prime Boy was at the event. So after the event and they all went home, what happened? Prime Boy also said something. Wunmi was not supposed to go with them. She was not part of the plan. Why did she force herself to be on the train to that concert that night and going with Liam, who is a small boy? What actually happened? Less than 6 months old child. You took the boy to a noisy place. What actually happened? Why did she follow them? So there is a full conspiracy of silence, which I think we should look at. But asking questions in inquest, there are many other things they need to consider. If the medical report has failed, there are other things. And that needs sincerity and drilling from the part of the legal practitioner to ask for more people to talk on this and for them to ask more questions. I rest my submission. Thank you very much, guys.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. If medically his death cannot be ascertained, okay? Now, this is just a thought I'm putting out there, okay? Now, can we say the story of this Obema Kenje, can it be true? Can it be that he was just touched?
I don't believe that, because if it is true, they will see substance that relate to poison in the system. They were able to get paracetamol and two other things.
I mean,
they should be able to see that.
If you
there is poison. There is no miracle about it. It's not invincible. There is no
because
miracle.
I'm just,
For
I
me,
don't know.
That's my thought. We could ask medical people. You're a medical person.
Hold on, forget that side. I'm just thinking that's why I said, could it be? Because if you put it together, Obema Kenje, Eloroku, throwing charm in the casket, those three things kind of aligned in all this diabolic spiritual line. I don't know, I'm just not saying out my thoughts.
Yeah, but you're asking me a question now. So you're saying out your thoughts. Don't ask me a question. You say you're asking me a question.
The thing is, I'm thinking,
because legally, I don't believe
hold on, sir. I know legally you cannot probably not prove it, but with this superficial wound, maybe the Obema Kenje was just a little touch. Because police said there was a profuse bleeding. Did the police lie to us?
That is the question. We need to go back to the police. So what is the profuse bleeding?
We need to sue the police. We need to sue them.
If it is a superficial wound, how can it be profusely?
Exactly.
No veins was cut. No veins. I talked about my own injury.
Yeah, I heard you when you spoke about your injury.
Because it was very deep, which I knew a vein was cut. And it was massive. But a superficial injury, no vein was cut. So the bleeding would be minimal.
Yeah, so that is why I'm saying, that is why I'm saying that I know you don't believe. I know that's not your line of thought, and it's not mine either, but I'm just putting it in the puzzle. Maybe the superficial Obema Kenje was superficial in touching his body. Okay?
No, wait. Do you mean supernatural? Not superficial, supernatural.
No, I mean superficial. I said maybe the Obema Kenje just touched him, his body, superficially. You know, sometimes you can be chopping chopping knife, and the knife touch you briefly. That's what I mean. It could be, sometimes you even have paper cuts. Hold on. You even have a paper cut that bleeds.
Yes.
It's not deep. Yes. It's not thin. But a paper cut will cut you, and you will see a line of blood on the cut line like that. Paper cut, ordinary paper cut. So what I'm trying to say is, could it be? I'm just saying, let me finish my thought, then people can say theirs, or we can dissect it. Could it be that the Obema Kwenje just touched him superficially like a paper cut? But the Obe is Obema Kwenje, even if the Eje is a drop of blood.
Beg profusely. Go on.
You will bleed profusely and it will lead to your death. Hold on, let me finish my thought. Because if you look at the other part of the puzzle of this Obema Kwenje, the people it was coming from, 1. 2, the idea of Baba Egbe Okui Eloro. 2, because definitely if Wunmi is telling us the nurse injected him, go and roll Oku and nurse is 2 parallel lines. It will not be the same. So could it be Wunmi knows Obema Kwenje kon arai? And could it also be the reason they have to put all these white cloths, red pots, black pots, calabash, all of these things in the casket? Should we actually be looking at that direction? It's just a thought. Because a pepper cut makes you bleed.
I just
ask you a question.
About
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, ask me a question.
Can you guys let her land?
I wonder why people just want to interject you
because you
change
have to
the direction of your conversation.
No. You are here with people, you have to manage the timing. I mean, go on.
Aristocrat, please go ahead, ask me a question.
Land with your thought. They will ask you a question.
She has landed now.
Yeah, I'm saying that, when a paper cut just pass through your skin, it will give you a straight line. On that straight line, you will have dot, or in a straight line like that. Yeah. I'm just saying now, I'm not saying it is. Could it be, let's say, you just have a knife. Remember, she was at the kitchen, in a small, not a deep cup. Remember, she was in the kitchen chopping onions and carrots for fried rice.
Yes.
Could it be because that is the only reason Mohbad.
To chop onions.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, let us.
I want to ask a question.
Let question flow now. Let everybody go on.
Let me ask you 2 questions, and this is the 2 questions. Number 1, let me go with your assertion. Now,
it's not asserting. My suspicious.
Your assertion is your position. I didn't say assertion. Check the meaning. Now, what I'm saying is this. What is your definition or the effect of your Obemakeje, number 1? What do you think is once that Obemakeje is activated, what will be?
My Lord, permit me to come in before she goes.
No. Let me come in so you can support me. Let me come in so you can support me because I know you.
My second question.
No, let's do it one. I can't answer 2 questions. I cannot remember 2
Write
questions.
it down now. Write it down. Wait now, Lady Harris. First one, I want to know your Obemakeje. Define it and define the effect on the victim. 1B. I'm not asking you 2 questions in 1 question. 1B. Where do you think the Obemakeje was activated? The venue
was used to assertion.
Okay.
Yes. When?
That 2 question is
when and where?
I've heard you now. I've heard
location.
You. Yeah. To me, my understanding very, very minimal. I'm not that native. When I say minimal, it's what I picked up from people talking on this TikTok. It's not something I've never even heard about Obema Kwenje until that day of that conversation or the tape leaked out. That's the first time I heard it. So I'm not that exposed, to put it that way. But the little information I heard is it does not matter as long as that Obe touches you and there's a blood. And there's a blood that you cannot survive it. That is what I heard. And I didn't research nothing. I only heard it from this TikTok premise. And to me, I would think the Obe was activated at home.
Thank you very much. No need to go too much. Yeah. Now, aristocrat. For me, like I've always read here, there's so many occasions that poisonous knife has been used to stab persons. One of the effects of the Obema Kenje, that is a poisonous knife, is when this knife is used to stab a person, there is a blood flow. There is going to be a blood flow. Okay, because Obe, ti obodo kon eje. Ti Obe yemba kon eje, kilo ma shele. There have to be some effect. So when that knife touches the blood, as long as the knife is used to stab a person and the knife touches the blood, there will be a lot of blood flow, there will be profuse bleeding. And then, depending on what kind of poison that was used in that knife, what people should understand is this: there are so many varieties of poison. All poisonous knives are not the same, depending on who did it. So now, in the case of Oluwadamilare that I've read here, a knife was used to stab him in a school fight where schools were fighting among themselves. So this particular person walked up to him and stabbed him on the leg before he could stand up. And that leg bled profusely and the leg swelled up immediately. And so 11 days after, the leg was still bleeding. They have to cut the leg. They have to do operation to amputate the leg. And now when you look at Mohbad case similarly, whether or not Mohbad was stabbed in the show, Mohbad was stabbed at home, we see the quick swollen of his hand. What else could have made Mohbad's hand swollen like that so quickly and continue to bleed again, if not a poisonous substance? So when
That's a question.
No, I just answer 1A, then 1B.
Okay, 1B. You've already answered 1B.
Yeah, I've answered both. Go on.
Yes. The question I want to ask,
Yes.
should we then discountenance another narrative that is out there? And I think Good said, Prime Boy mentioned it, that the scar on his hand that they were calling injury has been on his hand even before the event. So if we're going to discountenance that, Madam Harris, now you are not the person testifying. You can't say it's an error for him because we're not there.
Error now.
I am working with what is outside there. Don't say it to me. Just leave it there.
There is another wound that is a scar on the opposite direction. I think Summer did it here. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I just jump interject. You know, I don't normally interject.
Please don't jump in. I am asking Papa.
Let us take it easy at this point.
Please, let me just say something.
I'm here to finish my question.
We should let you just want to land. Please, the same way that is making you to. Whether we talk about it or not, they must research it somewhere for them to defend their client. And if this plays a platform for discussion, then let any researcher come and research. Our own legal team said they are working on the grant. And we don't know what they are doing. And we want to know what is going on. We are interested in the case. And they are not telling us anything. So what should we do? Should we close our platforms and go sit down? Or should we just be here and be playing music? Or I don't know what we should be talking. Sometimes I encourage all of you to begin to host live stream. When you host live stream, do better what you expect Papariano to do. I want to come and learn from you guys. I want to see how you can host for 24 hours and what you will be doing for 10 hours and what you'll be discussing. I just want to see how it works. But with the way I see it, this is just what everybody do, even in Western world. I watch documentations. I see how people approach ongoing cases. They discuss it, public opinions. Sometimes they even come to some premature conclusions. And it becomes a thing of conversation, a thing of debate between fans, between people of both parties. There's always going to be people who have interest on both sides, no matter no matter how much the case is. Okay, so let's respect that people have got interest in this case, and let us respect their opinion and their view. And we are not judges here, but we are just laying out our own observations, the things that we think that should be the case. But sometimes that may be correct. But now, if it's correct, who's supposed to use it? The legal team. The question is coming back to you, Princess. Are our legal team here to learning?
Papa, no. They are learning from us. You don't allow me to.
All that we have been saying. Wait. All that we have been doing, we have been saying. They are learning. What have they do with the learning? And the anti-justice, the anti-justice who has been learning too. We can see what they are doing, and what they have done. Our own, what have they done? Go on, it's back to you.
What I'm trying to let you know,
Answer my question. Don't just talk. Let's be.
Our legal team are here.
Say this. The reason why I think, aristocrat, I don't know if you think towards it too like that. The nurse has refused to say anything because there was nothing to be said. She was not there. She didn't go to the house to treat Mohbad. She didn't administer treatment to Mohbad in any form. She only came there as a show, like, okay, we call the nurse. Secondly, body that they compose, they said they see face of person, but they could not trace the injury. They could not trace furthermore injuries that is on his body, but they can see tattoo. I don't think that one should be. In fact, a decomposed body should be like amala that has spoiled like 4 days. You know how funny it will look. That's how I think, with my layman brain, it should look like. So the trace of tattoo should not be that clear if that body is so much decomposed. That is my own thinking. My own no, not be anybody thinking. Now, thirdly, why did the doctors, the police said he bled profusely, and doctor said there is no injury on the body, meaning the police collected a script from Wunmi and Yabojo and read to us. Because I can remember vividly, Yabo was going to that panty constantly, holding meeting with the police before they decided to do a press briefing. She was going to panty, doing video that she's in panty. They are holding meeting with the police department. So Yabo and write that script, give them to make us feel it was what we are thinking right now, or Bema Konje.
You know what, Minka? Let me quickly comment there. I felt like we're trying to. What's in your background? I felt like they were trying to put it all upon Prime Boy, but Prime Boy didn't want that game. He had refused, probably, to want to be part of it, and so now they don't know who to put it on. So now they put it on the fact that the evidence was erased. But the question should remain: what made Mohbad to bleed profusely? All the blood that they were saying that that happened in the show. What happened? What caused that blood? Because now, if Prime Boy is claiming that there was no such altercation where Mohbad had injury, there was no fight, there was no injury. Police said there was a fight, and Mohbad bled profusely. So, how do we explain that? What police is talking about this?
And thank you, Papa, for helping me talk more on that aspect. Me, particularly, there is a tall lady from Ikorodu, downtown, that traveled to the Mohbad's grave. The same woman that interviewed Bale, the same lady that interviewed that man that said it was Bale. Before the third day, the man said it is not Bale. That tall black lady went to that grave. Immediately they removed Mohbad. She walked in there and she did a live. I was on that lady's live on Facebook. She videoed it. People were saying, hey, Genio, Mohbad ma ye don't fresh. Ninu Sare, Atini, like, as they are taking him out of the grave, going like this, the trail of the blood was following the stuff. He was still bleeding as they were carrying the corpse from that place. The woman was videoing it and it was live. And I was fortunate to be on her live. So the doctor telling us there is no trace of blood, I don't know.
Sorry, can we make it and bring that video back? Can you get the video and bring it?
I will go back. Yinka TNT. No, she's not Yinka TNT. I will go and find that video this evening. I will come back to life.
Bring it back. Okay,
I swear to God, I will find that video.
Tenny Omologo has it. Tenny Omologo has it.
We have one here. Let's see. Is it possible to enlarge it or bring it closer to the bring it closer? You looking at it, what did you see? Did you see, is it like red mud or blood? I mean, from your own observation. What can you see?
That's blood.
That's blood you're seeing there?
Yes, let me zoom it. Give me a second.
This is blood now, without being told now. Must just say it out. This is pure blood.
Now,
it was
this was a kid. You see, this is why we are saying that these teams are not composed. They're supposed to go with all of this evidence. You see, everybody witnessed there confirmed that this inquest will start again. You see? So
start again.
That's an evidence.
That is pure blood.
But there is blood too.
Now that the pathologist is saying that when they exhumed Mohbad, it was red mud.
We have to start again.
It was the water it was a liquid from the red mud that got into the casket. Anyway, I think for me, let me not talk too much. This way we have to see what the legal team will do and what Berekete can do, because now I think Berekete have no excuse anymore. So now this right now, all of them. How many of you are for Berekete? Yes, say yes. If you are Berekete member, yes, say yes. Hello.
No matter anything.
Hello in the comment section. Hey, one mute, Master, sorry. 1 minute. Yeah. If you are Berekete, yes, say yes. All right. Now it's time to call Berekete. You call Berekete, you tell him now the result is out. No excuse anymore. We want to see action. We are kids, we are little boys on the internet talking, running our mouth. Now let the elders take over. Let Will, small boys, young man, let Will go and sit down. It's time for big men to start the show. So
We can all see the difference between the blood and the mud. The mud is brown, where that red thing is there, standing there. So I don't know when the man is saying that thing and he thinks maybe we are blind.
Nobody could challenge him there. Nobody could challenge him.
So we don't know brown, we don't know red. I don't understand. This is what
pains me the most. We are supposed to have our doctors to challenge his analysis. I don't know why they did not go with our own doctors. Because there are plenty of evidence. How can you say there is no blood? How can you? As a doctor?
Papariano.
As a doctor?
So, thank God that you are now aligned. You have now aligned with my first submission that I said they need to receive.
He not gonna get too much time for other cases that he wants to focus on Mohbad. This week we are entering. So and so far so good. I don't know if he has talked about Mohbad since on Monday. I don't know because I did not listen to him. So but he told his people that he'll be focusing more on Mohbad this week, according to my PA.
Can I contribute, please?
This one, no. This one.
On the finish.
This one where, this one where.
We done
the finish. So.
Oh, okay, no, all the time still this.
Can I contribute now?
Yeah, go on, contribute.
Okay, good evening, guys.
No emotion, no. Now strictly reasoning, I would do for you. I beg you because.
Yeah, I know. For everything that is going on. This test they said they did, this is not the real one. I think they are compromised. And on the other hand also, Wunmi say why I always use this word. He live in fear. It's like what everybody are saying, that's what they put in this test they said they did. That's what I think. And the reason why the nurse have never spoken since then. They don't want him to come and speak so that it will not mess everything up. Maybe he will say something else, the test will say something else. That's the reason why they didn't allow the nurse to come and speak. And now, okay, on the other hand, my own thinking, so they said the nurse came to the house to treat Mohbad. Is it the nurse that embalmed Mohbad? I don't really know. I think maybe they called the nurse to come and embalm Mohbad.